cut off. Like, we had to run into a store screaming that somebody was going to kill us so that somebody would step in.
All right, Senna, relax. Okay, it's not that deep. It's what I'm hearing a lot of men say about her being terrified about what happened to her the other night. And to those men, I would like to tell you to shut the fuck up. Because if this was your sister, your mom, your girl telling you about a man who chased down her and her friends over him getting rejected and yelling out death threats, you would not be telling her to calm down and it's not that deep. A man who does not know how to handle rejection is one of the scariest things a woman needs to look out for. Because I've seen men become incredibly unstable and unhinged at getting rejected and not being seen as attractive to the woman that they're looking for. There are cases of women who have been unalived because they wouldn't give their phone number to a man. So her reaction is completely justified because no one knows exactly what the fuck would have happened if they stuck around. To Senna, Valkyrie, Imuru, I'm so sorry this happened to you guys. And to the guys who are commenting on this situation, shut up. Okay, we live in a world where we don't have to worry about shit like this. And don't be willfully obtuse in my comment section either. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So stop. For real, like, it's not funny.
So at one point I actually tried to go ahead and refrain from actually doing this type of video because I don't think it should be even stated in a video that no means no. This should be a common sense thing. It should be a thing that a lot of people should know, whether it's male or female, that no means no. But a lot of people don't seem to get that through their fucking heads. And here's the thing, like, I think a lot of people try to justify these guys tripping out and freaking out in some type of weird way because of the simple fact that they can't handle rejection. That shit is weird. In every type of instance, a guy has actually felt rejection. A guy has actually in some way, has been rejected. Even I have. But the main lesson that we should know, or that we have learned throughout, being rejected, is that it's gonna happen and we should move on. I can tell that a lot of people who have been rejected, it comes from a place of, yeah, you've been hurt and you have been rejected most of the time, but that's gonna get to a point where it's like, hey, you're gonna have no choice but suck it up, especially when it comes to this situation where it was dangerous. It was very bad. It was to a point where it was like, they felt, in danger of their lives. They felt very off. And you can see why now people or women want things like the 4B movement, or want things like to stay away from men and stuff like that, or don't trust men. And it's because of shit like this. It's just majorly off that people don't get that. It's majorly off that people don't understand that. It's majorly off that people don't, get with the idea that, no means no. And that goes for not just men, but females also. With this situation, it is a dangerous area because a man who doesn't take rejection, like, Rose here said, it's a very dangerous thing. It's very, very dangerous because, as I said, if this was like someone like your mother or like your sister or your cousin in your family, your aunt, that, this went towards or this was about, then you would probably be thinking a different opposite mentality. Some of your mentalities are way off. Some of you tend to be like, very, very destructive, very, very off with your mindsets. And because of shit like this is exactly why, women don't go ahead and do things like trust us. They don't try to go ahead and do things like, try to want to speak to a guy. They want to stay away from the guys when they're in certain areas. And then sometimes even a decent man can't come into their life, or they can't find a decent man because of that fear. Even sometimes a decent man can't even go ahead and shoot his shot And you know, guess what? She probably will not be able to go ahead and be able to meet that one guy, that true guy that you know that you know, of course, like they're like her Prince Charming and everything, because of that fear that's instilled by other men who don't know how to fucking act. And it's very, very weird that, you know, this situation happened. The guy didn't want to know how to take a no, and guess what? He got very upset. And here's what it is. As a guy who has been rejected a couple of times, just like every other man in the world, if someone, if there is a pretty woman, the same, if you are interested in a woman right there, I would suggest, yes, go ahead. Have the courage to go shoot your shot. But here's the thing. If it's automatically known that there are signs that she's not interested, if there are signs that, you know, she doesn't want to talk to you, or if automatically she's straightforward, because there are a lot of women that were straightforward with me, you know, when they would tell you, oh, I'm not interested, or no, I'm not looking for anything. Just take that as a no. Take that as an automatic. If they even offer to be like, hey, you know, like, you know, let's just be friends, you know, you have the choice to also take that. You have the choice whether to be friends, or you have the choice to, you know, be like, hey, you know, I appreciate it, but I'm trying to look for something, you know. But at one point, once they say that, once they say no, or once they say, you know, they just want to be friends and stuff like that, you have to respect that decision. And with that decision being made, you have to go ahead and understand that no is a no, and the decision is that decision. That's just straightforward. You know, that is automatically the situation with that. And you know, people just gotta move on, and people just gotta go ahead and deal with it. And guess what? A lot of people should have to deal with this situation, especially streamers. And I tried not to talk about this situation because, as I said, like, it's really like not really something I really speak on this channel, but it gets to a point where it's actual streamers, it's gamers, and guess what? This happens a lot in the gaming area and the streaming area, and this shouldn't. It should be to a point where people should be respected regardless. And you know, for just like a final message for some of the guys to understand, guys, just no means no. That it's just simple. This shouldn't be happening. Just no means no.